Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you your FriYay Pick card. These weeks certainly do come around so quickly, don't they? But I'm so excited for today because I think we're going to have an awesome pick card and we're changing things up a very little bit. You would have noticed on the thumbnail, you would have noticed on the picture on social media that there's no numbers 1, 2, and 3. There are, though, pictures of doors. So I am using this awesome deck, which is called Divine Doors, to help you pick your bundle this week. So you've got to look at those 3 doors that are there, and you've got to ask yourself, which is the door that you want to step into? Which is the door that looks intriguing? Which is the door that looks exciting? And let that be the one that guides you to your pile. So for those of you who are finding me for the first time, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you so much. And to all my loyal subscribers and followers, it's so awesome. I have received such amazing feedback from some of you this week, and it really does touch my soul. It just really does touch my heart to know that the content that I put out, that the work that I put out there, that the videos that you see help you. I know sometimes they're not always relevant to everybody, but this week seems to have been really awesome. I don't want to lie to you if I say, however many messages there were, but there were a lot. There were a lot this week of people who reached out to me to say that, oh gosh, today's video, today's message really helped, really, solidified or confirmed or whatever it was. And I just love hearing those messages. I really do. I just absolutely love it. It makes me feel like I'm doing some good in this world. And isn't that what life is all about, is doing some good in this world? So thank you to those of you who've reached out to me this week. Thank you. I do so value and appreciate it. So how does this work? Well, this week, our theme or our topic or our conversation, as you would have seen in the headline, is gaining a fresh outlook on life. I have to look what I wrote. Gaining a fresh outlook on life. That is what today's messages or today's readings are going to be about. So I've got a couple of questions which I have written down that we're going to work through, and I'm going to use a tarot deck, and I'm going to use an oracle deck or 2 or 3, and to give you the guidance and the inspiration that you need. So generally all you've got to do is look at the image on screen. So let me do my magic. Let's do what I always do before my magic. So on screen right now will be a photograph of the bundles, of the choices, of the options that are available to you. So normally you would see it says bundle 1, bundle 2, or bundle 3. In this case, this week, we've got doors. So the first door, I'm going to call it the stone door. So the first one we have is a stone door. Do you like what you see there? Do you want to step through that doorway and see what's waiting for you on the other side? Is that doorway going to give you the outlook, the fresh outlook on life that you need right now? Or the second doorway, which is the doorway like cave, is that the one that intrigues you? Is that the one that you want? I want to go through that door. I want to see what lies behind that door. Is that the door that's going to give you the fresh outlook on life? Or is it that ornate wooden door that you can see there? Is that the one that seems to draw you and intrigue you? Are you curious to see what lies behind that door? Okay, so pick a door, pick 2 doors. It doesn't matter how many doors you pick, you're welcome to pick all 3. And I'm sure that you will gain something from every single one of them. But generally speaking, start with 1 and then you can move on to the others. If you are on YouTube, if you open up the description below where it says see more, if you click on that and open up, you will get timestamps. You will see the timestamps to take you straight to the first one, the second one, or the third one. So you can go straight to the appropriate one for you. And if you are on my blog, there will be timestamps below. So you can go straight to, and remember today we're looking at gaining a fresh outlook on life. So where are we at now? And what are we moving towards? What is coming up for us? What are we looking forward to? So I think we're going to have an awesome pick a card, and I'm so excited to get into the messages. The decks that I'm going to be using today, let's go through those. We're going to do, our main one is the Tarot Grand Luxe. So that is the deck that's going to give us the inspiration. That's the deck that's going to give us the fresh outlook on life. I love this deck. I love anything by this man, this creator. He is just phenomenal. So That's going to be our main one that we're going to work with. And then once we've got our fresh outlook, obviously then, you know, I want to lighten it up a little bit. I want to just get a little bit more inspiration from spirit, inspiration from the angels. So we're going to get some wisdom from the oracle. Colette Baron Reed, she's awesome. So after we've got our fresh outlook, we're going to get some wisdom from the oracle. And then we're going to disappear and go off to the land of Atlantis. Diana Cooper Atlantis Cards. This deck, this little pack of cards is so old. I won't tell you how long I've had it for, give my age away, but just know that it's an old deck. So we're going to go off to Atlantis and see what we get. And then, of course, we mustn't forget our doors, because our doors have messages for us as well. So we will get messages there. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 decks that I'm going to be using today to give you awesome, detailed, phenomenal messages. And all I ask from you is a thumbs up and a comment below. And if you really do like it, please share the video. You know, let's share it with others so that other people can also find a fresh outlook on life. All right, friends, let's get straight into it. I'll see you at your bundle. Right, so welcome to those of you who chose the stone door as the door that has the answers, the inspiration, the message, and the reading that you need in your life right now. So this is for everybody. And so these divine doors, not only do they have really awesome doors pictured on them, but there are little messages on the back, which I will get into later. I'm not going to give it to you just yet, but this is for everybody who chose bundle 1 or the first one or the stone door. Okay, so I'm going to leave this card just here on the table in front of me. Today, we are looking to gain a fresh outlook on life. So we are in October. Last night was full moon in Aries, which means crazy energy, crazy emotions, crazy stuff, says she who's in Aries. So there's all sorts of stuff happening, okay? And we need to make sure that we are taking advantage. We need to make sure that we are online. We need to make sure that we are utilizing the energies that are around us. We need to make sure that we are utilizing everything that's available to us for our highest good. So that's why I came up with this one, because I always, when I record these, like, oh, what are we going to do this week? What are we going to do this week? And Spirit said to me, let's get a fresh outlook on life. It's time to get fresh outlook. So if you didn't watch the intro, I'm going to be using the Tarot Grand Luxe to get us our fresh outlook on life. And I have a couple of other cards which we'll get onto just now. So I'm going to pick up the Tarot Grand Luxe. It is such an awesome deck. It really is such an awesome deck. So I have got 4 questions that we are going to be asking to gain our fresh outlook. So I've got the 4 questions and they are written down here in front of me, and we're going to go through them one by one. So let's start. As I'm shuffling these cards here today, we're asking for guidance and protection. We're asking that the cards that I draw today be the exact cards that you all need to hear, need to see, and need to understand. May they be the cards of love, the cards of guidance, the cards of inspiration, and the cards of truth. And may they give us the fresh outlook that we need, that we deserve, and that we want in our lives right now. May they be protected, and may they be full of love and blessings. And so it is. Okay, so shuffled, intention set. As I said to you, we have got 4 questions. And so I'm just going to stop shuffling, and then we're going to draw cards straight off the top of the deck. So stop shuffling, let's cut the deck, because we like to do that. And right, cut the deck. All cards will be taken straight off the top. So first question is, remember I said to you, we just have had a full moon in Aries. Aries is all about leadership, strong, courageous, brave, starters, initiators, instigators. I'm allowed to laugh because I am an Aries, as I said earlier on. So our emotions are going to be like that. Our emotions are going to be like a little bit up and down and all over the place, all right? So the first thing that we want, in order for us to get a fresh outlook on life, we need to understand our current outlook on life. We need to understand where we are currently before we can understand where we're going. So the first card I'm going to draw off the top of this deck is to show our current emotional state. Okay, Page of Swords. Page of Swords energy. So first of all, you can see how young little Page is. You can see that he's dressed beautifully. He's in his full armor. He's in all his clothing. He feels really strong, but he's a little bit not certain of himself, okay? So currently, your current emotional state is that you're putting on a brave face. You're putting on a brave face and pretending that everything's okay. You feel as if you're confident. You feel as if you've got all your stuff together. You're putting on that brave exterior. But inside, underneath all of that, maybe a little bit of a different story. Underneath all of that, you may still be questioning yourself. You may still be doubting yourself. You may still be feeling like, do I actually have the skills? Do I actually have the knowledge? Do I actually have the ability? So to me, the Page of Swords is I always like to call this card the learning card, the lessons card, okay? And the Page of Swords is saying to you that, your current emotional state is that you're putting on a brave face. You're pretending like everything's fine, but actually you're doubting yourself. You're questioning yourself. You're wondering whether you are as strong as you are appearing to be. So there's a lot of self-doubt, and it's because you are in uncharted territories. It is because you're going through something that maybe you haven't experienced before, or something's happening that you're uncertain about. So there's this question mark, okay? There's this uncertainty. And the Page of Swords is all about that kind of energy. He's pretending. He's doing his best. He really is. He's doing his best. You are doing your best. But there's definitely this little part of you that's like, well, am I actually capable? Can I actually do this? Will I actually succeed? Will I be successful? So we get that. We understand all of that, all right? So that is your current emotional state. So I'm going to leave that card on the table here in front of me as we go into the next one. So we understand that there's a little bit of doubt. Okay, your current emotional state, there's a little bit of doubt, there's a little bit of apprehension, there's a little bit of uncertainty, there's a little bit of all of that kind of stuff happening, but you're putting on a brave exterior and you're pretending like everything's fabulous. We all do that, don't we? All right, so now the next question that we have, question 2, is what do you have in abundance in your life right now? Let's see what we get. So this is looking very, very interesting. We've got Emperor that's come through. And if you look at him, he's sitting on his throne. He's sitting very strong. He's sitting very square. In his hands, he has the scroll that has all the answers, that has all the plans, all the strategies, all the concepts. The scroll has everything that he needs. And in his other hand are the tools, okay? In his other hand are the tools that he needs and the tools that he's going to use to achieve the stuff that he needs to. So basically, what do you have in abundance in your life right now? The Emperor is all about control. The Emperor is all about plans. It's all about strategy. It's all about the things that need to get done. What he's not about is emotion. Okay, so he's all about logic, he's all about strength, he's all about courage, he's all about bravery, he's all about all of those things, but he doesn't care if he hurts your feelings, he doesn't care if he's got to take you out. So it makes so much sense with that first card, okay? It makes so much sense with this card because remember, your current emotional state is a little bit uncertain. Your current emotional state is like you're putting on a brave face. You're pretending like everything's okay. You're pretending like you've got this all under control. But the truth of the matter is you do have it under control. But you are doubting yourself, okay? But it's great because what do you have in abundance in your life right now? Control, structure, solidarity, solidness, okay? Your structure, your foundation, your base is solid. Your base is okay. So even though you're feeling a little bit uncertain, even though you're feeling a little bit nervous, even though you're feeling like maybe you shouldn't be here, shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be, you should be. Because this card, the Emperor, is confirming you got this, okay? So what do you have in abundance? Let me just put the page down. What do you have in abundance in your life right now at the moment? Structure, solidness, my English, solidness, rules, strategies, ideas, concepts, okay? All of that is what you have in abundance. So you're actually standing on pretty solid ground right now. Even if you're feeling a little bit uncertain, it's actually pretty okay. All right. Question 3. Question 3 is asking, right now in your life, what can you be happy about? So we've seen your current emotional state. We've seen what you have in abundance. So right here, right now, what do you have in your life that you can actually be happy about? We have the 5 of Swords. And you know what? The 5 of Swords is such an interesting card because the 5 of Swords says that you have achieved a lot. You may not be feeling so fabulous. You may be feeling like you've had to do things you're not proud of. You've had to do things you're not happy about. But the truth of the matter is you are victorious. The truth of the matter is you are succeeding. The truth of the matter is you are the one who is still standing. Everybody else has fallen over already, but you're still standing. And you need to congratulate yourself for that. You need to be proud of yourself for that because you've actually done well. That's what this card is telling you. It's telling you that regardless of what you've been through, and let's be honest, it's been a year, okay? And regardless of that, you haven't just fallen over and said, oh, well, that's at the end of my life, the end of my year, the end of my day. You've actually picked yourself up, dusted yourself off, and you've carried on, okay? And you've actually done really well. So please be happy about that. Celebrate that. Acknowledge that. Give yourself a pat on the back because you really have done incredibly well. And you need to recognize that you have come through. You have made it through an incredibly difficult year, an incredible difficult situation, circumstance, thing. Okay, and you are through. You are still in that emotion. You are still there. And it's very interesting how we had Emperor energy coming through, and he's about no emotion. He's about anything that doesn't have emotion. He's about structure and logic and discipline and rules and strategies. He's not about emotions. And here you have got the Five of Swords. He's done the work. He's been to battle. He's fought the battle. He's come out of it successful. Yes, he may have done some things that he's not very happy with, but he can be proud of himself that he stood his ground. He can be proud of himself that he achieved everything that he needed to achieve. So be proud of yourself. You have done well. You have come through this really, really well. You have done good. Okay? You have done good. So what can you be happy about? About your success, about your victories, about all the things that you've come through. Even if you're a bit battered and bruised, even if you're a little bit injured, even if you're a little bit, it's okay. You've made it. And that's what you need to focus on. Focus on the fact that you're not lying on the ground. You are still standing. You are still victorious. Like it. I like it a lot. Question 4. What do you have to look forward to next? Oh, I like it. Look how beautiful this card is. This is the Justice card. And you know what? This is making so much sense. So obviously, if I look at all 4 cards that we've drawn so far for you today, if I look at this, your current outlook on life has been one of, I'm brave, but I'm not brave. I'm strong, but I'm not strong. I'm courageous, but I'm not. There's always this constant self-doubt. And obviously, you've been through a lot. Obviously, with everything that's happened in your life right now, it's been a little bit overwhelming, okay? It's been a minute, all right? It's been a little bit overwhelming. And basically, we want to remember the whole concept of this reading today is to gain a new outlook on life. So we need to recognize that we are through the worst of it. If I look at all 4 of these cards, that's the message. That's what's coming through loud and clear, is that you need to recognize what you've endured. You need to recognize what you've been through, and you need to recognize it's done now. It's finished, okay? We are through the worst of it. And what do you have to look forward to next? We have got the Justice card. Justice card says that everybody will be held accountable. Everybody's going to have to stand up and be held accountable for what they've done, and that includes you. But the Justice card also says if you did good, you will receive good. If you did bad, you will receive bad. Okay? It's about being held accountable, and it's about getting whatever you are due, whatever is. So if you've done good, you will get good. If you've done bad, you will be punished accordingly. And I think that makes perfect sense with everything that you've been through, and especially what can you be happy about? This Five of Swords, because this Five of Swords says that you've done things that you maybe not very proud of. You've had to do things that maybe you're not very happy with, but you had to do them. You didn't have a choice. So you're probably worried about the outcomes of that. You're probably worried about how you're going to be punished or treated, or what's going to come of it. And the Justice card is basically saying to you, you didn't have a choice. You actually succeeded. You can be so happy and so proud of yourself that you have succeeded, that you have come out of this. I don't want to say unscathed, because I think you are a little bit scathed, okay? But you have succeeded, and you have come through, and you are victorious. And this card, the Justice card, is telling you that justice will be served. Justice will be handed out. And you are not going to be held accountable. You are not going to suffer because of what you did. You did what you had to do. You achieved everything you needed to achieve, and you've actually done well. So let's go back through all of these. Your current emotional state is Page of Swords, and Page of Swords energy is saying to you that you're putting on a brave face. You're pretending like everything's fabulous, but there is this little doubt inside of yourself. There is this little voice inside of your soul going, I don't know if I'm capable. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm that person. What do you have in abundance in your life right now? Structure, solid, foundation, base, plans, strategies, no emotions. That's what you have in abundance in your life right now. Stick to that. Work with that. Hold on to that, because that's important and that's significant. What can you be happy about? You can be happy about everything that you've achieved, everything that you've accomplished, even if you're feeling a bit battered and bruised. Recognize and focus on the victory, not on the battle. And what to look forward to next. You need to look forward to everything working out. You need to look forward to everything sorting itself out and everything being in balance in your life again. Can you see those scales? Everything in balance. So friends, those of you who chose, I nearly lost your door, the little stone door, that is such an awesome message for you. And the message at the back of your door says, bless this space. And I don't know if the camera is focusing on it, if you can read, so I'll read it for you. It says, your sacred space holds the soul to bear. Palo Santo or sage will clear the air. Okay, so basically what it's saying to you, if this is still how you're feeling, if you're feeling a little bit battered and bruised, if you're feeling a little bit uncertain about yourself, the way to fix it is to clear and sage your body, sage your room, your environment. The way to get everything back into balance, the way to get everything back into place as it needs to be, is to bless the space. So I'm going to put this on screen. See if the camera will focus on it so that you can read it. If you want a screenshot or write it down, you can do that. All right, so that is your message from the door. Okay, so now I am going to pick up the next deck, and we are now going to get some wisdom from the oracle, just to complete our message and just to finish it off. So I did shuffle this deck before I started, you know me, shuffling so badly. But let's just shuffle again now. We're asking the oracle to give us a little bit of wisdom on our current and future outlook on life. What is it that the oracle needs us to know? What additional information do we need? How do we go about doing the cleanse? How do we go about finding the balance? How do we go about not feeling guilty for the things that we've had to do? What is it that the oracle needs us to know? And this card is looking up at me. So, never-ending story, card 37. How interesting. So the never-ending story is telling you that this whole cycle of life that you've gone through, there isn't a full stop at the end of the sentence. It's not like it gets to a point and then everybody claps and cheers and the race is over. This card, never-ending story, is saying to you that, you know, life is a progression. But every time we progress, we just get a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. But it is a never-ending story. So if you're expecting, when this happens, if you're expecting a solution, a end result, a finalization, guess what? You're in for a surprise, because it's not going to happen. Never-ending story is basically saying to you that the wheel will just keep on turning, things will keep on happening, and you just have to go along with it. All right? You just have to go along with it, because it's not going to come to an end. I have one more deck of cards that I want to pull for you, and it's from the Diana Cooper Atlantis Cards. So let's pop over to the world of Atlantis, the world of mystical, special, amazing beings, and let's see what the Atlanteans want us to know. So these cards have got pictures on the one side and they've got writing on the other side. So there isn't a guidebook as such. So we'll see what the Atlanteans want us to know. And I am taking that card for you. Oh, very interesting. So the card that I have drawn is the Ice Age. These images are so gentle. They are so beautiful. Right, so to read the message on the back of the card for you, it says, a 2,000-year ice age allowed Earth to detoxify, to rest, and to purify, so that the planet could vibrate at a higher frequency. During the Ice Age, the Intergalactic Council was able to plan the fifth and final experiment of Atlantis, heralding the Golden Age, the most glorious and spiritual time there has ever been on this planet. This card indicates that a time of rest and relaxation is needed because you're exhausted, because you've just been to battle. Use this space to look within and to purify your beliefs and thoughts. Remember your dawn and remember its message about bless this place and using Palo Santo and sage to clear. This is a time to contemplate or to meditate on your life purpose and prepare yourself so that the new can come into your life at a higher frequency than the old, and recognize that it is a never-ending story. So I'm going to see if I can get, again, the camera to focus on that. If you want to pause the screen, take a snapshot of it or write it down or just read it again, pause so that you can see it. That would be absolutely awesome. But I think that is such an awesome message to complete our fresh outlook on life. So you've got to recognize, sorry, there was a little sentence at the bottom that I didn't read to you, and it says the seeds of new beginnings are germinating, which ties in to never-ending story, ties into needing to sage and to clear the space, and it ties into our reading of a fresh outlook. So friends, those of you who chose this door, please recognize that yes, you've had a tough time, yes, you've been through difficulties, but that challenge is over and it's time to embrace the new. It's time to cycle into the next. Don't feel so vulnerable. Don't feel like you're not actually capable. Don't feel like you're not strong enough, because you are. You truly, truly are. So friends, that is your reading, that is your message, and that is your guidance for this reading today. And I do hope that you've enjoyed it. I do hope that it's brought you answers, peace, and clarity that you need in your life. And as always, from my heart to yours, lots of love and blessings. Until we meet again on Monday for your tarot scopes, you take care. And welcome to those of you who chose the middle bundle, or the bundle that had this door by it. Normally I say bundle 2, but today we can't say bundle 2 because we're using doors. So this is the bundle, this is the group, the message, the reading that you have chosen today, which is awesome. These cards do have a little message on the back, but I'm going to read that message to you a little bit later. So I'm going to leave that one here in front of me, and I'm going to pick up this awesome and amazing tarot deck, the Tarot Grand Luxe. And this is the tarot deck that we're going to be working with today. So today, and I've already thrown a card on the table, I'm such a bad shuffler. So friends, today we are, as I'm shuffling the cards, we are looking at gaining a fresh outlook on life. So in order to gain a fresh outlook on life, we need to have an understanding of where we are now, and we need to have an understanding of the energies happening around us, and then we need to look at the energies that are coming forward for us. So that's what we're going to be doing. I have got 4 questions written out, and they're here on the table in front of me that I'm going to be referencing. So let's set the intention and let's get our story straight. We also, by the way, just on this note of gaining a fresh outlook, we've just had a full moon in Aries last night. And yeah, I am an Aries, so I understand Aries energy really well. Aries energy is a little bit volatile, a little bit all over the place. They're all about starting things and fresh beginnings and, coming up with inspiration and guidance and new ideas and strategies and whatever else. But they can go very hot as well. So we need to utilize the energies of the full moon. We need to utilize the energies that are around us. And this is why I thought it was quite a good topic to be focusing on today, to get a fresh outlook on life. So as I'm shuffling these cards, we're asking that the cards that we draw today be the cards of guidance, the cards of hope, the cards of inspiration, and the cards of love that we need. The cards, let them be the cards that we need to see, the cards that we need to hear, and the cards that we need to understand for the good of everybody who is watching the video right now. Doesn't matter when you're watching the video. Doesn't matter if you're watching it the day it was released, a year later, a month later, or at any time. Doesn't matter. Let it be appropriate, let it be applicable, and let it give you the guidance that you need in your life. And so it is. And so it is. Okay, so cards are shuffled. We're going to split the deck, and then I'm just going to draw cards straight off the top. Right, so we're going to draw cards straight off the top there to give us the answers that we need today. So question 1, what is your current emotional state? So remember, we're looking at getting a fresh outlook on life. But as I said, before we can look at a fresh outlook on life, we have to look at where we are now. So card number 1, question number 1 is, what is your current emotional state? 7 of Swords. I love this card. It's such an interesting one. It's got so many interesting dynamics to it. 7 of Swords in traditional tarot, and I'm not really a traditionalist. But in traditional tarot, Seven of Swords is the card of thievery. It's the card of theft. It's the card of betrayal. It's the card of whatever. But for me, I like to say that, yes, it's about taking what's not yours, but forgetting about that. He's been sent, or he's chosen to go and to collect as many swords as he can. Whether he's entitled to the swords or not is a whole other story, okay? But that is his focus. That is his challenge. That is this thing that he's doing right now. But if he doesn't plan accordingly, if he didn't give it a bit of thought ahead of time, he's going to fail. So to me, I like to use this card as the planning card because I don't believe in negative. I don't believe in negativity. I don't believe in focusing on that. I'm all about the positive. So I know, and I always find a way of looking at the positive of every situation. So instead of looking at this as somebody taking something that doesn't belong to him, I'm going to say, well, you know what? He has a thing he needs to do. Whether that thing is right or wrong is not for us to debate. But it's all about how does he do it? Is he just going to arrive and say, well, let me take what I can? Or is there going to be some kind of strategy? So remember the question we had here is, what is your current state? What is your current emotional state? And it's saying to you that there's things that you need to do. There's things that you want to do, that you have things to achieve. But if you just go in with it without some kind of a plan, without some kind of a strategy, guess what? You're going to fail. Okay, so your current emotional state needs some planning, it needs some thinking, it needs some strategy. All right, so your current emotional state is that you're trying to achieve things where you haven't given it much thought, you haven't really looked at it properly. And if you don't start looking at it properly, you're not going to be successful, and you're not going to achieve the things that you want to, or the things that you need to achieve. So current emotional state needs some strategy, needs some planning. Right. The message will make sense as we get into it. Our second question is, what do you have in abundance in your life right now? So let's see what we have. Oh, I love it. We have the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups is all about being happy. The Six of Cups is about reminiscing about life. It's about thinking back to a time when life was easier, thinking back to a time where life was uncomplicated, thinking back to a time where it was simpler. And immediately I'm sort of hearing spirit say to, like, earlier in the year when life wasn't as complicated as it is right now. So friends, those of you who chose this door, those of you who chose the door in the cave, I'm going to call it that, your current emotional state is that, yes, there are things that you're needing to do, but you're a little bit uncertain as to how to go about it. You need to do some planning. You need to do some strategy. You need to do some thinking about what it is that you need to do and how you're actually going to go about doing it. If you just dive in, if you just go in, so if you need to have a conversation with somebody, if you need to discuss a problem with somebody, and you just arrive and open your mouth and start speaking, guess what? Aries energy means that you're going to be sticking your feet straight into it. Okay? Stop, think, strategize, then act. What do you have in abundance in your life right now? Memories. What do you have in abundance in your life right now? Thinking about a time when it was easier, when it was simpler. So you've got the history, okay? That is what you have in abundance in your life right now. You have got the ideas and the strategies of how things used to be, when things used to work simply, when things used to work easier, when things weren't so complicated. That's what you have in abundance, and that is in your favor. That's what you've got to use to your advantage in order to achieve the things that you want to achieve. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Question 3. What can you be happy about right now? So you know what? These two cards are clearly showing you that there are challenges, that there are things and obstacles and stuff that you're currently dealing with. So remember, the whole concept here is to change our outlook, to get a fresh outlook on life. So we're recognizing the challenges, we're recognizing the things that we need to deal with, but in order to change our outlook, we also need to find things to be grateful for, find things to be happy with. So question 3 is, what can you be happy about in your life right now? And I love this, 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands is the card of change. But it's also saying to you that the change has already started. It's already in progress. It's already happening. Okay. So this is actually quite fabulous. So it's saying to you, the change, the progress, the movement on, it's already started. You've already started everything. Everything's already in motion. There's not much that you need to do at this point to change the outcome, to change where you end up. Just know, so you need to be happy about that. Can you imagine if we were saying to you that, oh, there's still all of this that you need to do, and you need to now start planning, and you need to now start strategizing. You need to come up with the concepts and you need to come up with everything. You've already done that, okay? You've already done the planning. You've already done the planning. You're already partway through. You've already started. It's not like you're still at the bottom of the mountain. You're halfway up. You're quite close to the top. And what this card is saying to you, what you need to be happy about is the fact that you are almost at your destination. You have almost completed and achieved everything that you need to do. So what do you have in abundance in your life right now? The history, the past, the things that you've already done, the things that you've already accomplished, the way that you've done it. So you've got something, you've got a baseline to go on. And you need to be happy at the fact that things are already in progress, things are already happening for you. I'm liking that. Our last question is, what can you look forward to next? What's coming up next for you? What is the next big thing that you need to be aware of? Oh, I'm loving this. The Hermit card. Isn't he gorgeous? You know, this card speaks for itself. It's almost like I don't actually have to say anything. So what's coming up for you, what to look forward to next, is the fact that the only person you need to rely on, the only person you need to worry about, the only person you need to be mindful of is you. Okay? That's what the Hermit is telling you. The Hermit is telling you that you are going to be happy. You are going to be in a good place. You are going to be successful. You, and you. All right? It's, you know, and it's interesting that this card came up. It's interesting that the Six of Cups came up, because the Six of Cups is about reminiscing or thinking back to a time when you were a kid and life was simple and uncomplicated, and you didn't have all the adult responsibilities on your shoulders, and you didn't have to think about all those kind of things. But it's also about bringing the past into the present. It's also about bringing into your life now that simplicity and that uncomplicated. And you know what? It's about recognizing that you matter. It's about recognizing that you are important. It's about recognizing that you are just as significant. So what can you look forward to next? About finding yourself, finding your happiness, finding your bliss, finding your peace, finding your everything. Okay. So friends who chose the door in the cave, let's do a recap. So gaining a fresh outlook on life. Your current emotional state is one where you know what needs to be done, but maybe there's a little bit of strategy, there's a little bit of planning. It's not quite finished yet. You are partway through. There are still things. You can see he's got a couple of swords, but he's left some behind him. He's still trying to work out, how am I going to get those? How am I going to pick them up? How am I going to grab them? How am I going to take them? Okay? So your current emotional state is one of taking what belongs to you, taking what you deserve. It's about finding the strategy and the plans to do that. What do you have in abundance in your life right now? Memories, reminders from the past, strategies from the past, actions from the past, history of a circumstance, history of a situation is what you have in abundance in your life right now. What do you have that you can be happy about right now? The fact that everything is already in progress, everything is already happening. You don't have to still wait for things to start and to build up. You are probably, if you look at this card, you're probably at about 80% complete. So you are 80% up the mountain. You are 80% through the challenge, through the obstacle, through the change of outlook. Okay? You are already 80% there. And finally, what can you look forward to next? To finding yourself, finding your true center, finding your true north, recognizing your true value, recognizing who you are, and not being reliant on anybody else. I like that. I like that. So, your door. This door is not just a pretty picture. It does have a little message on the back, and I'm now going to share that with you. So, on the back of it, you have Nomad, which ties in with our Hermit. Nomad's message says, the nomadic wanderer lies deep inside, so take the leap now, don't crawl back and hide. Take the leap now, don't crawl back and hide. Go and grab what you deserve. Go and grab what you want. Go and grab what you deserve. Go and grab what's right there in front of you. Don't crawl back and hide. So let me hold that so that you can read it for yourself. Let's see if the camera will focus on it. Camera, can you focus? There we go. Right, so you can read the message. If I hide my face, there we go, then it focuses. Okay, right, so that is that. What I'm now going to do is I'm now going to pick up the wisdom of the oracle, and we're going to ask the oracle for some guidance as well. So as I shuffle these cards, we're asking the oracle, what else do we need to know? What other information do you have for us? What else is pertinent for us to know and to be aware of right now? So oracle, give us some wisdom. What is it that we need to know? And I am going to take that card. Card number 23, and it is the card of peace. And there you can see the peace dove that is flying away with the olive branch in its legs, in its beak, holding onto the olive branch. So we have got the peace card. And you know what? I think I'm going to tie it in with this one. And I'm going to tie it in with our nomad. So all of these three cards tie in so perfectly. They really do. You know, the Hermit card is all about being okay with yourself, being okay with who you are, being okay with your own journey, not needing any external validation, not needing anybody else to tell you that you're doing right or to tell you that they're proud of you. It's about just having that inner knowing and knowing that you're doing good. So the oracle, the wisdom of the oracle is telling you that peace is significant, peace is important, and peace is what you're working towards. I need to bring this card into it as well, because this is remembering and going back to a time when life was simple and uncomplicated, when we had that peace in our heart, where we didn't worry about what anybody else thought. We were just on our swing and we were having a ball. We had all our toys and life was really simple and uncomplicated. We didn't need validation. We had peace in our hearts. We had peace in our souls, and life was good. Life was good. Okay. And then the last thing that I want to do with you is I have these Diana Cooper Atlantis cards, which I decided to work with today. So they've got images on the front and writing on the back. So let's shuffle and see what the Atlanteans want us to know. So what is the message from the land of Atlantis, from the people of Atlantis? What is significant and important for us to know right now? What is it that they need us to know to complete our message, to complete our Gaining a Fresh Outlook on Life reading for today? What message do they have for us? And that card is jumping out at me. The images are so beautiful on these cards. They're so simple and they're so uncomplicated. And the message here is materialization. I love that. So there is writing on the back, which I will read to you, and then I will give it to you a chance that you can pause the screen and read it for yourself. Excuse me. The Magi and some specially trained priests were able to manifest items from the spiritual realms. First, they achieved total clarity about what they wanted. Sorry, you know I'm going to do this. This is exactly what this card is about. It's about gaining clarity for what you want. It's about knowing exactly what it is that you want. They then focused on the most intricate details of this vision and were able to hold it in their mind. No, wrong one. Sorry, picking up the wrong one. Hold it in their mind. Okay? Because everything is made up of energy. They could draw the pure energy of the higher dimensions into a denser vibration and fashion it into the physical object that they desired. This power was used to serve the people. If you chose this card, your guidance is to become totally clear about what you want in your life. Be sure that you really want it. And I think that goes to this card, okay? Because this card is all about thinking back to a time when you were happier, thinking back to a time when your life was complete, when your life was fulfilled. And it's asking you, do you really want that in your life right now? Be honest with yourself. Be certain with yourself and make sure that that is actually what you want. Because remember, the objective is peace. The objective is happiness. Okay. When you have this clarity, focus on your vision without doubt or deviation, and it must manifest. Focus on your vision and make it happen. And that's what the Hermit is all about. The Hermit is telling you to focus on your vision and make it happen. Your door message, your door, says to you, the nomadic wanderer lies deep inside. So take the leap now. Don't crawl back and hide. So focus on your vision and make it happen. Don't crawl back inside. Right, I'm going to pause. I'm going to put this on screen. As soon as it's clear, you may pause the video and then you can read it for yourself, make a screenshot of it or write it down or or use it in whichever way you want to, but there's all the information from the Atlanteans. So friends, those of you who chose this beautiful door in the cave, it's time to step out. It's time to take the leap. It's time to step out into the world. It's time to embrace life. It's time to have this new outlook and to get excited. Remember that the change is already happening. Change is already in progress. It's already started, so there's no going back now. There's no going back now. You are 80% of the way, and there is so much success and happiness waiting for you. So friends, with love and blessings, from my heart to yours, until we meet again on Monday for your tarot scripts, you take care. Hello friends, and welcome to those of you who chose this door as the door that has the message, the reading, and the inspiration that you need in your life right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So there is a message on the back of this door, which I will read to you a bit later, but I just wanted to confirm that this is the message that you've chosen. I'm going to leave that card on the table here in front of me, and I will refer to it just now to give you your message. So today we are looking at gaining a fresh outlook on life. That is our theme. That is our message. Last night we had a full moon in Aries, and Aries energy is very volatile, it's very exciting, it's very passionate, it's very out there, it's a little crazy. Aries is all about starting, so I would imagine the emotions are huge, okay? Which is why I thought let's get some clarity and get a fresh outlook on life. And to do that today, I'm going to be using the Tarot Grand Luxe to give us our main message and our main reading. And then I've got a couple of oracle decks that I will use afterwards. So this is the Tarot Grand Luxe. They are beautiful images, such an awesome tarot deck. I just adore the artwork and everything in these cards. So let's get straight into it. I have 4 questions written down on the table here in front of me that I'm going to be referencing, that I'm going to be going through. And these 4 questions will give us, hopefully, the fresh outlook that we need on life right now. Let's see what we get. So, as I shuffle these cards today, we're asking for guidance, clarity, and inspiration. We're asking that the cards that I draw today give us the answers, give us the reading, give us the images, give us the messages that we all need. The messages of hope, messages of guidance, the messages of upliftment, and the messages of love. Let they give us the clarity and the fresh outlook on life that we need right now. May the cards answer our questions clearly, honestly, and full of love. And so it is. And so it is. So we've got 4 questions to ask. I have finished shuffling. One more. I'll say that, then I just keep shuffling. Right, so I'm going to split the deck, and I'm just going to grab it like that. And I'm going to draw the cards straight off the top. So I'm going to leave them on the table here in front of me as we go through our 4 questions. So the first question. So we're looking at getting a fresh outlook on life. But in order for us to get a fresh outlook on life, we have to know where we're at now. We have to know where we're at, what we're doing, what we're dealing with in our lives right now. So the first question we're asking is, what is our current emotional state? What is the current state of your emotions? We have card 0. And card 0 is the Fool. Card 0 is all about fresh beginnings. Card 0 is all about trusting the universe, trusting yourself, not always having all the answers, not always knowing everything that's happening around you, but just going with it, just going with the flow, okay? Not really spending too much time questioning, not spending too much time thinking, not spending too much time strategizing or trying even to understand. It's just about going with the flow and trusting that the universe will provide. So your current emotional state is there. You are quite, I'm going to call it enthusiastic, but also quite naive, but also quite, aware of exactly where you are. So you are in the now, you are in the moment. Your current emotional state is that you know that there's a lot going on, but you're focusing more on yourself as opposed to other people and other circumstances, okay? So that's a really good place to be, I feel. I feel emotionally, this is a lovely place to be because it also means that there's no limitations. There's no restrictions. There's no boundaries. There's no guidelines, okay? You are free to go and to do and to be anything you want to, which is absolutely fabulous, all right? So the Fool card, your current emotional state, it's not saying that you are a fool, not at all. The Fool he's actually the smart one. He's actually quite conniving and quite clever in his actions, but he may look like he's jovial. He may look like he's full of fun, but he's very aware of everything that's happening around him. And he's also very much in control, but he's going with the flow. He's trusting the universe. He's trusting that everything will be provided for as it needs. So you're not spending too much time in panic. You're not spending too much time worrying. You're not spending too much time in anxiety. You're actually just going with the flow, and you're dealing with stuff as it crops up, which is great. So that is your current emotional state. I like it. So now our second question is, what do you have in abundance in your life right now? What is the one thing that's happening in your life at the moment that is full of abundance? Where do you have abundance? Oh my word. Oh, how absolutely gorgeous. This card is just phenomenal. We have Empress energy, and you can see she is tree. She is the earth mother. Okay, she is mother, she is tree, she is all things. She is the nurturer, she is the one who gives life, she is the one who nurtures and takes care of. So what do you have in abundance in your life right now is creativity. What do you have in abundance in your life right now is the ability to create anything that you want. And I think that's so awesome, because it ties in so beautifully with the full energy, because the full energy is all about trusting the universe. The full energy is all about trusting that things will be provided for you as and when you need it. You don't have to go and create it. You don't have to go and make it. You don't have to go and find it. You just carry on doing whatever you're doing, and all will be provided for you. So what do you have in abundance in your life right now? Empress energy is all about creativity. It's all about creation. You have the ability in your life right now to manifest and create anything that you want for yourself. This is also very important, because now you've got to remember, you've got to realize, you've got to hold on to the fact that if you are stressing, if you are worried, if you're having any kind of anxiety, you are creating and manifesting that in an abundance. Because whatever you are holding on to, whatever you are thinking, whatever you are believing, whatever you are working on, you have the ability to manifest. That is what you have in abundance right now. So if you're having thoughts of love and happiness, you will manifest that. You will have that in abundance. If you're having thoughts of stress and anxiety, you will manifest that in abundance. Okay, so Empress energy, what do you have in abundance in your life right now? Creation, creativity. Okay, so be aware of that, be mindful of that, and use it to your advantage. You are now able to create anything that you said you want to. I like it. Okay, question 3. Question 3 is, what can you be happy about right now? So what in your life right now can you be happy about and can you celebrate? 7 of Swords energy. This card came up in one of the previous readings. 7 of Swords energy is such an interesting card. I have to say, it's one of my favorite cards in the tarot deck, and I know I said it about most cards, but 7 of Swords energy is all about, in my book, in my understanding, it's about planning and strategy. It's about knowing what it is you need to achieve. It's about knowing what it is you want to accomplish. It's about having a plan and creating that plan and following that plan, executing that plan, okay? So the story of this card is he wants those swords. Whether he's entitled to those swords, whether he belongs, whether the swords belong to him or not is not in question here. What is in question here is his objective is to gain swords, to collect the swords, to fetch the swords, to work with the swords. But he never thought about it. He never put any thought into it. So he's arrived there with nothing but his arms. And you can see he's quite heavy laden. His arms are carrying already as many swords as he could possibly bear. But he's looking around and he can see that there's 2 more. And he's being a little bit greedy, I suppose. You know, and he's saying, oh, but hold a second, there's 2 more there. I don't want to leave them behind. So what can you be happy about? You need to be happy about the fact that there's always more. Just when you think you've got it all, just when you think you've collected it all, just when you think you've grabbed it all, just when you think you've got it all, the universe says to you, but hold a second, there's 2 more by the window. So it is the abundance. It is the abundance that you need to be happy about. Just when, and if you don't, and I think that's exactly why the 7 of Swords has come up for you, because if you don't plan and strategize what you're doing, if you're not aware of your thoughts, if you're not aware of what you're manifesting, you're going to manifest yourself some trouble. You're going to manifest yourself some difficulties, and we don't want that, okay? We really don't want that. Remember, your current emotional state is one of naivety. It's one of all things are possible. Anything is possible. There's infinite possibilities. And it is you just trusting and you're just going with the flow. Okay? So that is your current emotional state. You need to recognize that, with a little bit of planning, you can achieve so much. So what can you be happy about in your life right now? The fact that the universe always provides for you. The universe always says that there's a little bit more. There's a couple more there. Just when you feel like you've achieved it all, you've done it all, the universe says, no, there's a little bit more for you. Here, have some more. Go look by the window. There's a little bit more for you there, which I think is actually quite awesome. And our last question, our fourth question is, what do you have to look forward to next? What is the next thing for you? What is the next thing that's coming up for you? What do you need to be mindful of? What is coming up next for you? We have Page of Coins energy. Okay, so this is very interesting. Page of Coins is typically the Page of Pentacles, and Page of Pentacles is all about our financial material possessions. It's all about recognizing that we have some power in that department. It's about learning how to control and use that power. So financially, things are improving. Financially, things are developing. Things are opening up for you. Sorry, moving it out of picture. Financially, things are improving. Financially, things are growing and things are looking up for you, but you've still got some learning to do. You've still got to figure some stuff out. And I think the figuring some stuff out is exactly what this card was saying to you, okay? But you must remember that there is just unlimited energy. There's just unlimited potential. There's just unlimited opportunities for you. So what to look forward to next is the opportunities to make money, the opportunities to grow yourself materialistically, to grow yourself materialistically, financially, to improve your wealth, to improve your strategies, and to improve your status. Okay, so that's what you've got to look forward to. That's what's coming up next for you. So it's very interesting. Your current emotional state is a state of unknown. It's a state of bliss. It's a state of peace. It's a state of being completely happy with where you are in life, with what you're doing in life. But it's also not knowing what your next step is. It's also not knowing what's coming up next. It's just trusting. It's just going with the flow and trusting that everything's going to work out. What do you have in abundance in your life right now is the ability to create. The ability to create anything that you want. So whatever your thoughts are, whatever you're thinking, whatever's going on in your head is what you are going to manifest. What can you be happy about right now is the fact that the universe is providing for you. The universe will always give you more. Just when you think you can't have any more, just when you think your arms are full, just when you think that there's no more out there for you, the universe will provide and give. And finally, what to look forward to next, the growth, the learning, the opportunities, and the success. I think that is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I'm picking bundle 3 this week. I'm picking this one. So, friends, this was your door that you chose. This was the door that had the message for you. There is some writing on the back, which I'm going to read to you now. So this particular door is called Anthony's Call, and it says, "In thanks of my spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost so can be found." I'll read it again. "In thanks of my spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost so can be found." And I think that's exactly what this card is referring to as well. You know, all things that were lost, your swords, okay? They were scattered all over the place. They were left all over the place. And you've now been trying to strategize and trying to figure out a way of how to get them all back. And the universe is providing for you. Whatever you have lost, whether it is your mind, your emotions, a physical thing, opportunity, success, anything, whatever is lost will be found. And that is also interesting with your current emotional state of trust, current emotional state of just going with the flow, of not necessarily knowing the steps that you're going to take, but just taking the steps as they come up and as they appear. So let me put it to you like this, that you can read it. If you want to pause the screen to read it, or write it down, or take a screenshot of it, whatever you need to do, that's fine. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the camera to focus on it. Camera doesn't want to focus. There we go. I think that's about as clear as it's going to get. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do, because now we've finished with the tarot deck, is I'm going to ask the wisdom of the oracle for additional message. So I'm going to take the wisdom of the oracle cards and let's shuffle. So we're asking the oracle, what else do we need to know? What else is important for us to know right now about our getting a fresh outlook on life? What else is important? What else is significant? What do you need us to know? What do you need us to be aware of and mindful of right now in order for us to gain the fresh perspective on life? And that card is sticking out. Card 43, deep knowing. And there is our full moon. How awesome is that? And you know what? I think for those of you who chose this door, for those of you who chose this message, I do think that there is a deep knowing. I think everything that I've said to you today, this message that you've received today, I think it fits here. It makes sense. There's some recollection, there's some understanding, there's some comprehension that's taking place. And you have a deep knowing that you deserve this. You have a deep knowing that you are able to manifest absolutely anything that you want in life, and that anything that you've lost and anything that you don't have in your life right now is available to you, because we have an call that is again saying to you, in thanks of my spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost so can be found. And here we have this deep knowing. You know that this is the truth. You know deep in your heart, deep in your soul, that there is truth to this. You know that you are going to, what do you have to look forward to next? Many lessons, many opportunities for success, many opportunities for growth, for expansion, for new. And the only thing that you have to do is recognize that where you are at now is a place of innocence, a place of naivety, a place of trusting the universe with that deep knowing that you have. How absolutely beautiful is that? I am loving this message. All right. And the last thing that I want to do with you, I have these cards. These are Diana Cooper and Atlantis cards. It's a really, really, really old deck that I have. And for whatever reason, I decided to pull it out today. So we're going to shuffle. We're asking the Atlanteans to give us a message. We're asking the Atlanteans to give us some guidance. What is it that we need to know right now in order to gain a fresh outlook on life? What is it that's important for us to know? What extra message, additional message do they want for us? And what is it right now? Okay, and I'm going to just take that card. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I'm saying that because this is a card I drew in one of the other doors, one of the other bundles today. It is the card of materialization. But you know what? Materialization, it makes sense. I know what's written on the back of the card, so that's why I'm saying that. It absolutely makes sense. It fits in with the message. So actually, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. All right, so I'm going to read to you the writing that's on the back, and then I'll pause it for you to see the writing for yourself. So the message says, the Magi and some specially trained priests were able to manifest items from the spiritual realms. First, they achieved a total clarity about what they wanted. Total clarity about what they wanted. They then focused on the most intricate details of this vision and were able to hold it in their mind. So they knew what they were looking for. They knew what they were set out to achieve. They knew what they were looking to manifest. They knew what they were looking for. Because everything is made up of energy, they could draw the pure energy of the higher dimensions into a denser vibration and fashion it into a physical object. This power was used to serve the people. If you choose this card, your guidance is to become totally clear about what you want in your life. Be sure that you really want it. When you have this clarity, focus on your vision without doubt or deviation, and it must manifest. Focus on your vision and make it happen. So friends, let me see if I can get that focused. Pause the screen and read that as you need to. It really is an awesome, awesome, awesome message. And you know, to me, it just makes so much sense. It fits in with our message today really, really strongly, really, really loudly. And it really, to me, it ties into Empress energy. Remember what I was saying to you about Empress energy is that whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, you are manifesting. And that's exactly why you got the materialization card. Okay, that is absolutely awesome. So friends, that is your message. I do hope that you picked the right door. I do hope that it gives you the right message. I'm just going to read Anthony's call one more time to you. And it says, in thanks of my spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost so can be found. So if you were lost, consider yourself found. The fresh outlook on life, what's coming up for you, is that you can manifest and create anything that you desire. Finance, material possessions, love, heart and emotions, everything. It's all there for you. So friends, with love and blessings, from my heart to yours, until we connect again on Monday for your tarot scripts. You take care.